I think essential thing is for the regulations to kind of streamline processes. So when I mean streamline processes, right? So yeah, make it easier for digital platform or maybe startups, to come into the system, perhaps through maybe a regulatory sandbox, right? So regulatory sandbox is a very safe environment where where solutions are being tested in a controlled environment by regulators, right? Where issues are actually troubleshoot products, challenges that product could face are actually experienced within a controlled environment, and you know having a regulatory sandbox or implementing a regulatory sandbox for for digital platform, I think it will go a long way, to help the growth of digital platforms in the country, and also keep them better equipped, right, to scale on a larger basis, whenever they come out, to the general public. Before I go into that question, I need to give kudos to both the government and our National Assembly for passing the insurance bill, right? Which we expect that before December 2025, it will be an act of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, right? So how can the federal government really help the sector by incentivizing the sector, right? By ensuring that you don't overtax them, right? And if you have new insurance companies coming in, by ensuring that the minimum capital for going into that sector is something that people can actually afford, right? And also perhaps it could imitate. I mean, the FG could imitate what the other countries are doing. For example, Kenya, you see MTBA, you see some of the insurance platform where tax reliefs are given to them for them to really float before they go into general space, right? So again, what else can the federal government do by liberalizing the economy as well, for making sure that the economy is well protected for investors to come in, because any investor that is coming into any country and you don't have well coordinated rules and regulation, or you don't have a process for your exit upon your investment, it becomes a problem, because a challenge for the investors to really come into the country. So the government can do a lot of things. They could even go into a partnership through the regulators with these insurance companies to bring them to the table to say, what, we want you to succeed in this sector. Let's go into the partnership. Let's identify your problems. Let's find solutions to your problems, and let's take your industry to the next level. The insurance sector rather in Nigeria is they are growing, right? But there's still one or two things that needs to be done for the company to I'm sorry, not company, for the sector,
Yes.
for the sector to get to its destination, right, and be at par with its contemporaries in the global world, right. So, for example, now in terms of a digital platform, in terms of going digital, so globally, most insurance companies can perhaps sit at the comfort of your home and subscribe to a package, an insurance package, pay your premium and all, right. Not all insurance companies in Nigeria are into that. And I think that's what they could do. And one of my takeaways here is that, see, insurance, the time has come for you to open your eyes to innovation. And innovation is the next thing. So innovate, right? Be digital, go global.
Business Day, which is the leading business newspaper or finance newspaper in Nigeria today, has been playing a big role in terms of the insurance aspect. The insurance conference is something I've followed, done by Business Day. But this time around, this year, I said, look, we must be a part of it. It's something that we believe and we like. We like the impact. People trust activities or things done by Business Day. So yes, we do believe in that. We have to find the right balance. Innovation, you can't stop innovation. So what you're going to have is innovators are going to be ahead. Then they're going to have the regulators coming in to say, look, regulate what the innovators have done. And I think it's something that the regulators will want to encourage. NICOM, as a regulator in the insurance industry, wants to grow it. We keep on talking about this 1% penetration. I think NICOM will want to grow that 1% to 2%, 3%. And the only way they can do that is to encourage innovation. So there has to have that handshake, there has to have that partnership. In some areas, NICOM has created sandboxes to allow the operators put in some of their innovations or their tech into it to test it, so that doesn't restrict them from innovating. We recently launched technology platform or digital solution. It's called Raha by Nu. What basically it is, what we keep on realizing is people don't like to contact the insurance companies because there's a belief that I only call my insurance company when there is a problem, when they have a claim to make. So what our digital solution is trying to do, which is Raha by Nuro, is to provide people a lifestyle to tie in their insurances to their various lifestyles. So there's a reason to continue to talk with our digital solution. So we believe with that, you have more financial protection, financial planning through Raha by Nu. You're able to do more about knowing more about your motor vehicle insurance, things that come about in it. For instance, today there are various fines that are coming up by overspeeding on various roads, and these are safety issues. These are things that also concern insurance because we believe, or if you drive faster, you have a higher risk of having an accident. So through Raha by No, we should be able to encourage people to say, look, oh, these are the new guidelines by the Lagos State or federal government of Nigeria. So you have more engagement. We believe our digital solution will have more lifestyle engagement with our clients and our participants. Oh, fantastic. Sometime last year, we received approval from NICOM to provide micro-takaful. Micro-takaful basically allows us to provide insurance to the lowest people. So as little as 500 naira, you should be able to do that. Now we understand with our takaful model, it's not just about profit making, but service orientation. So we believe that we've been able to grow as an organization. We believe that part of our services now is to ensure that the small man, little man on the streets of Nigeria, the little man who is working in the farms, who is trading, is able to have adequate cover. They're the ones that are seriously affected when we have floods or fires in the market. They can't survive. So we believe with the micro takaful, we should be able to penetrate these without compromising on our services, our professionalism, our ethics and values as well.
Yes, I think so because apart from the audience that were here, it's a mix of practitioners, media men, and some other group of people. The paper that was delivered by the rector of the College of Insurance and Financial Management really had food for thought that if people put them to practice, it will definitely improve the lots of the insurance industry and it would help us to get to our place, our dream place, very, very soon, much sooner than expected. If this program had not been held, maybe it would have been longer. But if we put those things to practice, we will definitely have a better insurance industry. Yeah, personally, I don't think so. I think it's because of the economy. Before you can think of insurance, you have to think of your basic needs first: food, housing, shelter, and now the fourth basic need, education for the children. So, but if you know and understand insurance a little bit, maybe if we play it up a little bit, you will know that insurance can actually help you to meet these four basic needs: housing, clothing, shelter, and education. So no, we're not underlooking it. It's just that the realities of times and season is making people to put insurance not as the first four things, but gradually things would improve, all things being equal. Yes, one of the things that government can do is to look at the area of taxation, the taxation of insurance organizations. If they could lessen it a little bit, it will have them, the insurance organizations, to have more funds to play around with. And with that, we'll be able to do more marketing. We'll be able to do more sensitization, and also government can also support insurance organization by making the field a little bit freer because like now we are expecting that is the president would sign into law the Insurance Act 2025. We look forward to having that signed as soon as possible. We know that it's very busy, but we would appreciate if we could just give it a little bit more attention for the insurance industry. If we have that Insurance Act in place, then things will definitely move much more faster for the industry and it will improve the lots of the economy because if we're going to do this ritual economy that we're planning to do with His Excellency, then it's high time that we put in more effort on the insurance space to help the government to achieve that trillionaire economy that we're looking at.
Yes, it is. And why am I saying that? I mean, there are lots of things that are really happening. I mean, like what you guys are doing currently today, you're creating awareness. And even within the industry itself, is it the NIA? They are creating the awareness. Is it the Chartered Insurance Institute of Nigeria? They are creating the awareness. And even most of the insurance companies that, in terms of the amount of money they pump into their publicity, they are also creating the awareness. So I think it's just a matter of time before people knows the importance of insurance. Because whether we like it or not, protection is very key. either in form of your asset or in form of your life. And if you don't have that protection in place, invariably it's just a matter of time. The person will, you know, will not really appreciate, the importance of taking up insurance. Okay, I think for us, one of the things that we try to do, we're very proactive. So in terms of things happening, within the economy, we try as much as possible to put our ears to the ground, so that invariably, we come up with product that can address, the inflation that is currently happening in the market. And then we have those products in place, products that, in terms of investment, in terms of the risk base, we have those products. And then for retirees too, because right now we know that for retirees, there are two options for them, in terms of when they are through with the RSA. Either they can do program withdrawal, they can do annuity. And for us, in terms of the way we price our annuity, we do it in such a way that, we ensure that the annuitants, in respect of the way they are able to sustain their financial obligations throughout their lives, it's there for them. And you know that for annuity business is guaranteed for 10 years. And if the person survives 10 years, the person lives for 20 years, 30 years, he still gets that monthly payment, which I think and I believe that, could help, in terms of when people retire. Very good question. For us, what has actually helped the banking industry is trust. And that is what we are trying to build, within the insurance space. I think one of the things that we are trying to do is to give those testimonials. And if you check most of our adverts, in terms of the claims that we've paid over time, it could reflect, in terms of those that, that they've lost dear ones, paying to their beneficiaries. We've paid, in the region of more than, several billions. And then even for the annuitants too, what we pay on a monthly basis, I would say that in our records now, over time, in terms of the asset under liability under the annuity, is over 50 billion. Yes, and we make sure that before the 28th of every month, all the annuitants, they are paid, they are paid on time. So whether we like it or not, these are the things that can actually build trust in the market. Because when you give them promise and you fulfill the promise, they act as ambassadors, to be able to, project the positive image of the industry. And I think it's just a matter of time. We'll get there, and we're on course.
I mean, there are many trends we can think about, but just to summarize, I would say lots of digital interaction, because we're building a young army of very digitally able and digitally enabled individuals. So they want to engage online. They want to be able to do things at their own convenience. They don't want to have to go to a particular place to get things done. So that's one of the major trends. People are also looking for more simple information. They want things that are more digitally engaging. So we have to move into more infographics. We need to do more videos and things to engage people, because reading long contracts is also going to be very difficult as well. We're seeing emerging trends when you think about cybersecurity issues. We're talking to companies, but how will it affect an individual? What if somebody uses your device to cause problems and you are facing a liability? So I think there will be a lot of questions that will come to the bear, as well as when we're thinking about mobility. Cars are changing. The ownership of cars will change. So how would you insure your car? Would you own a car? Would you have a piece of time to use the car? And how do you protect yourself during that period? I think those are some of the quick things to think about. And maybe lastly, healthcare. We're seeing a lot of people caring more about their health, be more health aware. And so having solutions that can help them, not just when they're ill, but to prevent things, for them to enjoy themselves. Maybe have access to a gym, to exercise, to some massage or things like that. I think those are major things that we're seeing across our different businesses. I mean, cosmetic procedures are very debatable, as you can imagine, right? Insurance is protecting you against unexpected and what we call fortuitous loss, something that might or might not happen. Everyone will die, but we don't know when and what time. But when it comes to cosmetic surgery, you plan, you actually decide to do it. So your typical insurance pricing will be very different. So I don't see it in the shortest period of time. What I see where you can then have some level of professional support, so you don't go to the wrong people because they are cheaper. I will see that happening very quickly. But in terms of insurance covering things like cosmetic, it's not really top, except it's because of an underlying issue. So if somebody has a cleft palate and they need to change that and really get them to look better, build new lips and all of that for them, that is covered because that is not a norm. But when you want to just look more beautiful than you are already, then you might need to just invest a little bit in getting that to happen. And from research today, I see that the industry is more open to collaboration. I see that people are thinking, we're thinking, we want a better industry. It's still, penetration is still low, even though we're impacting a lot, but we're still not doing enough when it comes to retail customers, SMEs. And I think there's an opportunity for us as insurers to work together, to learn from each other, and to perhaps find some ways to collaborate to solve some problems together. So I look forward to even the deliberation on innovation, just for others to know what's going on and what's possible. So this is, I think, a really great event. Thanks to Business Day. Thank